Let's turn to Philip Morris this morning, one of the top gainers on the S&P after reporting a beat on the top and the bottom line in Q4. Guidance coming in higher than expected. The tobacco giant saying the quarterly shipments in its smoke-free business exceeded 40 billion units for the first time, all after receiving official FDA authorization last month for the Zyn nicotine pouches currently marketed in the U.S. Stock's up around 20% in that time. And joining us this morning in a CNBC exclusive is Philip Morris CEO Jacek Olczak. Jacek, great to have you. You know, we've been lucky enough to have you on the show for several years, almost every quarter. And in the last year, the stock has really just broken out of that long-term range. I assume it has something to do with the things we're talking about this quarter?
Yes, thank you for having me. And sorry I didn't catch up with Sarah in Davos. I hope the next time we'll have the opportunity to do it in person.
Next time.
Look,
yes.
It's a great quarter. Yes, looking forward to it. Look, it was a great quarter, great year. And more importantly, we see the same sort of dynamics going into 2025, despite the fact that, you know, here and there are some turbulences. We're talking about the tariffs, the currencies are a little bit up and down, etc. But I think the fundamentals are very strong. There is a continuous growing demand behind the smoke-free product, very much in the U.S., behind our Zyn flagship proposition, IQOS International. So all of these things are, you know, really going in the right directions. And I think many of the inflationary pressures which we have on our cost seems that they are more and more behind us. So very excited today, obviously, great year, and very much excited about the 2025.
Yeah, the street's very interested in how fast do you think volume can grow in Zyn and how much the whole pouch category can grow, at least in the U.S.?
Well, until the last smoker of conventional cigarettes is there, because, you know, all of these products are designed to really help smokers. I mean, those who would, you know, otherwise continue smoking, these products are squarely addressing that sort of audience. I mean, this is behind this fabulous growth of Zyn. I mean, it attracts the smokers and attracts also some people using e-vape products. I mean, international IQOS is going straight after smokers. So I think there is an ample room for us to grow, and more people are convinced. I'm also very pleased with the recent, you know, FDA announcements, authorization of Zyn, which clarifies the path going forward. I hope, you know, next time, you know, regulators, not only in the US, will likely be the faster than this time. But, you know, we enjoy what we have it. So I think the outlook is really very positive.
How much work have you had to do, Jacek, in convincing your shareholder base that this is a good investment? You know, for a long time, people thought these cigarette makers are uninvestable. They didn't want to go there because of ESG. Not good for you. You know, institutional shareholders. Has it changed at all as you have continued to show that you're transitioning the business and outperforming?
Yeah, it's a great question, Sarah. So as you remember, I used to be a CFO of Philip Morris. It was about 10 years ago. And I remember in my road shows, we were talking about the innovations and laying the prospects of this new category as the better alternative to cigarettes. And I think it took us, you know, maybe 2 years, and the core audience, the core of our investors, I mean, I got the story pretty well, and I think they benefiting from this journey over the last 10 years. I think most of our investors, actually, there are new investors coming to looking at us because there is innovations, there is a consumer centricity. We're going with the products which have a completely different risk profile than the cigarettes. So there's a lot of people who are maybe sitting for many years on the sidelines. They're turning their eyes into this category. You know, fabulous growth is the one thing on the top line, but, you know, this is a category when you have a great margins, both at the gross and the bottom line, cash conversions, and rewarding shareholders for the pretty solid dividend. So you don't often have the transformation of the company when the shareholders can benefit from a stock appreciations, but also from a pretty attractive dividend.
As a network, we've tried to keep track with some competitive challenges. We did a big documentary about vaping and Juul several years ago. I wonder what lessons Philip Morris has taken from sort of these assertive marketing campaigns by a competitor that sometimes feed into the whole safety discussion here in North America.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important that, you know, we draw the line very, you know, in a very solid terms that, you know, these products are not for underage people, for youth. And this is not just the fact coming or the requirements coming from the law, but I think we all as adults have to act, responsibly. Having said so, I mean, this is the product which helps a lot of adults solving their problems. They find it attractive. They're giving up smoking. So I think we demonstrated that both if you look at the underage usage of Zyn in the US, which is at a very minimal level, despite the growing size and the popularity, the same is with IQOS, that you can protect the youth in terms of an access to the product and, the content of the marketing. I mean, not using influencers, for example, etc. But at the same time, serving this very vast adults market. So things are doable. Requires a lot of effort. But I think in this category, I mean, the products contains nicotine. Nicotine is addictive. So, we need to be very careful and very sensitive to the societal expectations, also regulatory requirements. And I think we're delivering on both fronts.